My name's Max, and I built this lamp to help my girlfriend sleep better. So this project started out in Fusion 360 with a focus on ease of manufacturing. I also made some drawings to use along the build process. I started with a walnut blank on the lathe that was big enough for the top and bottom of the lamp. Once I got the outer diameter to size, I then parted the workpiece into two. Now, you might be thinking, how is this lamp going to make my girlfriend sleep better? Well, I live in a small studio apartment where my desk is close to my bed, and this prevents me from working on projects at night because either I can't see or my light keeps my girlfriend awake. So the hope with this lamp is to have a dim ambient light source, but with a curtain that I can open to direct light on whatever I'm working on. The top and bottom pieces are pretty simple. Essentially, just a short cylinder with a channel for the curtain, place for the light socket, and a rod to connect the two. And I plan on making a separate resin base, so I cut a channel into the base so that they can go together easier. For the curtain rod, I used a piece of 1/8" brazing rod. First I had to polish it up and then I bent it to shape. This little propane tank ended up being the perfect size for the job. The idea with these bent legs was to create a free-floating effect of the curtain rod. However, they kind of ended up being saggy and ended up making the curtain fabric a bit loose. I plan on reinforcing them in the future to keep the curtain tighter. Next, I used a walnut stain and then topped it off with some beeswax, and I'm really happy with how it came out. For the resin base, I used some 2-part epoxy and a 3D printed mold. I made sure to include some generous radii in the mold to help it release. The base came out really good for the first attempt, minus a large bubble, which I think could have been prevented by leveling the mold. It fits really nice into the wooden base too. Next was wiring up the lamp. I decided to hide a push button switch under the curtain rod because I hate those little switches that are in line with the cord. The curtain was a pretty simple pattern, and I used a button stitch to reinforce where the rod comes out of the fabric. Then the top and bottom rods were threaded into the curtain and the lamp was assembled. The curtain tension needs some work, but I'm pretty happy with how it came out, and look how directed the light is. Thanks for watching.